Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Penultimate Conquest podcast. Today, we are doing our video game State of the Union episode, which means we're going to go over the big three and see what they need to do for this year to get in our good graces, I guess. Not get in our good graces, I would say probably just to be good for the players, I guess. I don't really know how to describe this. Anyway, we're talking about the big three and what their plans are for 2021. That's probably how I should have described it. Today I have with me Ryan. Ryan, how's it going, buddy?
Doing pretty good, Ruben. How about yourself?
All things considered, I'm doing pretty good. I just ordered my Secret Labs chair, so I'm excited for that to come in.
Oh, hell yeah. You're gonna be sitting in style now.
Yeah, that's right. I'm very excited for that to come in. I also have Saj on. Sorry, Saj. With me. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. Just hanging out today, Sunday.
Okay.
Hanging out. Oh, at the time of recording.
Yeah, at the time of recording, it's Sunday. We're recording this in the past. So, in case the week of Inauguration Day has turned into chaos, let this be.
If we have the apocalypse.
Yeah. If there's a civil war in America, this is before the Civil War, okay?
Last peaceful day.
Closer than today.
Yeah, exactly. I also have John with me. John, how's it going, buddy?
Hello. I actually also ordered a Secret Lab chair this week.
Oh, okay.
If I sit too long and I play video games too long on the chair I have right now, my butt starts to hurt real bad.
Yes, mine too.
And that's making my Guilty Gear sessions get worse. So I want to get good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to switch from my chair to I just bought a couch. It's actually kind of really a lot better. But I should get another gaming chair. That Batman one looks really cool that you got, Ruby.
Yeah, that's exactly the one I got. I'm putting on this contraption for good posture. Apparently, I slouch. So now,
Don't we all? Yeah.
I'm like, I said like this, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I was told to put this on, and it actually does help. It's very good that way. John, which one did you get?
I just got the generic blue Omega one. I wanted one with the fabric back because the place where I go to in Indy to practice fighting games with people, they have leather chairs. Not like Secret Labs, but similar ones.
All right.
I stick to them real bad, so I was just like, I just want a nice soft thing behind me so I don't stick to it, because I also sweat too easily. Like, I get hot in 70-degree weather.
Yeah, same here. I'm literally sweating as I speak.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, let's begin with today's topic. Let's start off with Nintendo. Now, Nintendo's been pretty good lately. They just released info on Pokemon. Well, Pokemon released info on Pokemon Snap, which is coming out in April, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, April 30th.
We also received information these past week about Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, which is coming out next month, February 12th, if I'm not mistaken as well. I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, that's correct.
Ooh, damn, I just thought of that off the top of my head. This year's kind of a special year. I know somebody had mentioned before that it is The Legend of Zelda's 35th anniversary this year, and it is also Pokemon's 25th anniversary. Now, which do we want to get into first, Pokemon or Legend of Zelda?
I mean, I think since we talked about Pokemon already, about with Snap, we can start with Pokemon.
All right. So,
sounds good.
Here's the thing. I've been let down with most of the Pokemon games that have come out recently. I was very let down with, I forgot what it's called.
The newer one.
Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield. Yeah, it was a big letdown. I was expecting much more for the Switch. For the first Switch release, I was expecting much more. Now, I say first Switch release. I know Let's Go Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, technically counted as first, but those were remakes, so I could understand what they were doing with that. I know that Pokemon's not necessarily aimed towards me; it's aimed towards children, which is fine. But like, Pokemon's got to step their game up. Am I right?
Yes and no. Oh, sorry.
No, I disagree 100%.
You disagree 100%. Okay. Let's start with Ryan. Ryan, what do you?
So first off, I'm going to admit Pokemon holds a very special place in my heart.
My first video
But
game.
not as I'm not a Gen 1er. I love my favorite gen is Gen 3 and Gen 5. So I like some of the later gens.
Okay.
And I think personally that Pokemon is in a really good space for this year. You brought back Pokemon Snap, which is a game people have been clamoring for
so excited for Pokemon
2 decades now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're going into it with it's the 10th anniversary of Diamond and Pearl, and if a lot of the rumors are true, they're going to remake Diamond and Pearl the way they did Heart Gold Soul Silver. And the other rumor is you're going to get Let's Go Johto. And if they do those things, I think that could be a stellar year for Pokemon Company.
Okay. I have one question for you. What would be Let's Go Johto?
You just do Let's Go Eevee. You do that. You do the Pokemon Go formula for catching.
No. I get what you're saying.
Battle
I get what you're saying, but what are the titles? Since Pokemon.
What Pokemon would I have?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Let me think of for Johto.
I got an idea after you think about it.
Well, while you're thinking about it, let's go to John. Let's see what he's got.
I think what makes
Okay,
the
well,
most
John, what you got?
is Let's Go Togepi and Let's Go Pichu, because you just got to keep the Pikachu line
Fuck.
going.
Okay. All right. I didn't think of that.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
would be a
that's pretty
idea.
good.
Breeding
Yeah.
and baby Pokemon was a big thing with Silver and Gold, so and Togepi. Even if you've never touched a Pokemon game, you've probably seen a Togepi at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You're absolutely right. Okay. All right. I'll allow that. I don't like it as much, but I get what you're going with there. Ryan, what were you thinking of? Or was that?
That's pretty good. Yeah, I can't think of anything better than that.
Okay. All right.
That's good. But those are really the things I think the Pokemon Company needs to do this year. That would be really big, especially the 25th.
Yeah.
So they went very hard for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was when they put out Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Yes.
They did very special events at GameStop, so every month you could go get a Pokemon, all that kind of thing. It was super fun.
Yep.
So if they keep to that kind of spirit and everything, you could be looking for a great year for Pokemon.
Okay. All right. I guess I'm in the minority here, which is fine. Sajan. What do you
Well, you're not alone. I'm kind of halfway between you and Ryan. I think that obviously the Pokemon Company has a very good history of celebrating their anniversaries and stuff. They have a lot they could do this year. Obviously Pokemon Snap. I am so excited for that. Like the other day, when there was like a poll, and they're like, "Oh, what are you expecting?" And Pokemon Snap wasn't even on there, so I commented, "I'm like, but what about Pokemon Snap?"
Yeah.
And then the next day, it was like Pokemon Snap on April 20th, and it blew my mind.
Yep.
So I'm like you. I didn't with Sword and Shield. I was a little bit disappointed. I actually don't really pick up my Switch all that much anymore. I don't think I have since other than Mario 3 remakes, or remastered or whatever.
Yeah.
Haven't really touched my Switch since Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I didn't really even after the story. I didn't even really play it that much. So I would like something better than that, or so like a remake of what you say it was, Diamond.
Yeah. Diamond and Pearl.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool. And then you know what? I don't know. It probably won't happen, but I've always wanted like a remaster or like a reimagining or a remake of the Pokemon Coliseum game that was on GameCube.
Oh my god!
Because I loved that when I was younger. I thought I'm like, wow, this is a 3D Pokemon game because I started from Gen 1 and seeing that in 3D and all that would be great. And for Pokemon, for me, it's mostly nostalgia for me, but I still do enjoy them. So um, that's pretty much my take on it. I think they'll do a good job. They will deliver. They just haven't announced a lot of stuff yet.
Okay, that's fair. John, what do you got?
So, financially speaking, Pokemon doesn't have to do shit to make a ton of money. They
Yeah.
could release Pokemon Sword and Shield 2 and say that the Sword and Shield doggos are now swordier and shieldier, and people will be like, buy it day one. I will buy the 2-pack. They can literally just say that every Pokemon is Pikachu. It's Pokemon Pikachu Sword, Pikachu Shield, and they'll make tons of money.
Which is
That's the
upsetting,
unfortunate fact.
unfortunately.
The only thing the Game Freak games exist to do is make new Pokemon. It doesn't matter what the games actually do. As long as there's several new Pokemon, that's all that matters. But what I think what makes a lot of sense is it's been a while since our last Pokemon remake, so I feel like we could get a Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. I feel like that's the big thing to come next. Especially for like an anniversary celebration.
Okay.
Probably more expansions to Pokemon Go. I'm not sure how far they are Pokemon wise, but other than that, I'm not so sure.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Again, I guess me and Saj are kind of the minority.
Well, I'm not super excited about Pokemon. I thought Sword and Shield was capital F fine, but like I've just accepted that Pokemon can never be anything more than what it wants to be, which is a really cheap, easy to release JRPG series for children.
With
And
no, go ahead. Let you finish.
I would like it if I'm not even asking for them to like make the Final Fantasy VII remake of Pokemon. I'm asking for them to make something like the Dragon Quest XI of Pokemon, like just something a little bit bigger, a little bit more expansive that feels like it's been 25 years since the first Pokemon game.
Yeah. And I feel like they started something off with Let's Go Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, just with the Pokemon like outside in the wild, like you could see what you were attacking or catching. I want something more, you know? The only game that Ryan, give me a second. The only game that really like changed the game was Silver and Gold, which
Yes.
gave us eight gyms
16.
in
Yeah.
8 gyms in Johto, and then we went back to Kento.
And got to play the first games over again with your
Yes.
new Pokemon. I remember that. Because I played Red, and then I went. My file got corrupted like 5 billion times.
Oh yeah,
And
mine too.
then and then I went to Silver, and dude, we played through that game so many times just because I thought it was great at the time.
Yeah, and it's still great. I think I can pick up what was it, Soul Silver and Heart Gold right now, like as we speak, and I could replay the shit out of that game because it's so fucking good. It is so fucking good.
Yeah, I didn't expect it either. Like when I beat the last the eighth
Yeah,
one, I was like, wait, so where am I going? The game's not done yet, and then it takes me right to where I was in the Kento region. I'm like, oh shit,
fucking
like
amazing.
And then the fact that like the final boss when you get to Kanto and beat all the Elite Four, the Pokemon champion is you from
you.
Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yeah,
That is like big brain like video game. That is something you can only do in a video game, and I love that so much.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
And back then there was no like internet walkthroughs that you could see on YouTube and stuff. You were just there, and you're like, what? That's me. Like,
Exactly. John, go ahead.
I think what makes sense at this point is especially since it was such a big deal among people in the internet crowd, people who just buy Pokemon plushies didn't care, but like that you couldn't have every single Pokemon in Sword and Shield. From this point on, they kind of just need to do something like Black and White and just be like, in this Pokemon game, these are the only Pokemon we have, and everything is brand new, and that's it. Because I feel like it's just going to get more and more disappointing with how many character models they need to make and how many animations they need to do. There's 800 of these things, and everyone's has a favorite. I guarantee you, every single one of those is someone's favorite. Like, I follow Jim Sterling, and he was mad because Ekans wasn't in it. Not Arbok.
Yeah,
Ekans.
Ekans.
Just a purple snake. And I don't think he's wrong for that. I don't think anyone... I don't think, with the exception of Tangela, there isn't a wrong favorite Pokemon.
Okay.
It's just a bundle of weed and some tennis shoes.
Exactly. It's great.
But he's got shoes.
Not all of the first 150 are good. Some of them are very bad. I do not envy being Game Freak. But I also feel like at this point, because it seems like Game Freak is determined to stay like a small condensed company,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. But maybe they shouldn't be making Pokemon if that's what they want to do, since they no longer have control of the license. It's mostly the Pokemon Company and Nintendo. At this point, I would really consider taking the people at Game Freak that are like the Pokemon people and starting a new studio and giving them like 300 or 400 people so they can make it decently sized. Like, the problem with Pokemon Sword and Shield is that it doesn't feel like a massive world where children are running around with their monsters, catching and fighting. It feels like a tiny little playground at this point.
Yeah.
And that's the big one. Let's Go feels like the kiddie playground compared to that.
Yeah. I don't know. My hope is. Go ahead, Sash.
I was just gonna agree. Like, yeah, it's like a somewhat massive world, but it's completely empty.
Yep.
It just doesn't feel real, especially in the wilderness. You should be seeing other Pokemon masters or Pokemon trainers.
You do. They're on bicycles running all around you.
But you have to like connect to the internet, which is cool, I guess. But I feel like you have the power of the Switch. You could at least do more than one quote unquote rival, which
I agree.
isn't even the rival. I don't know. I didn't finish that game.
Ever since X and Y, they've been doing this weird thing where like you have a buddy rival and they're like a cool guy and you're like, you're buddy, and then you have the asshole rival, but then the
Gary
asshole rival gets way less screen time. Like in this one, it's Bede, and he shows up every while and he's like, oh, you have pathetic, sucky Pokemon. I have your weakness, and then you beat him anyway. And then he's like,
because he's like 5 levels lower than you.
It's just,
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like you need to bring back the Gary type of the.
Like make them like an actual antagonist.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like the idea. Something I liked about Sword and Shield is that they made Pokemon gyms the main plot of the game, and they were like, "This is a sports game this time. You are trying to become the #1 Pokemon trainer," and the problem is they didn't make that like as exciting as it sounds.
Yep.
Because there's like all this other stuff coming in. Where like, here's this Sword Man and Shield bro, and like there's not enough people that are like really after your spot. Like Hop is just kind of casually there.
Yep.
And Bede is like definitely after you. But then you have Marnie, who seems like she doesn't even want it for herself. She's just like, I guess I'm here.
I'm just here, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. She's just there.
She just shows up wherever you are, and she's like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. You could definitely make a really good Pokemon game where there's nothing, there's no teams, there's no shenanigans. It's just beat the Elite Four, but make like every single trainer up there like feel really driven and really interesting and unique. And they're like, yeah, I want to be #1, and every single person wants to be the Pokemon main character, but you are.
Yeah.
Like, give them some sort of a backstory or something, like a small one even.
I honestly like that better than like the team storylines, because they always feel super generic and super like, I'm going to take over the world with the Pokemon on the cover of this box. If you bought the other game, I'm a different guy, and I'm using the Pokemon from that cover of that box. But the games are the same.
I'm gonna say right here, Team Rocket is the only team that was actually really good.
Well, what I like about Team Rocket
It's on your mug.
is
Yeah.
that
The mug that you.
when the seventh gym leader is Giovanni, that's supposed to click into your head
Yeah.
that this is all a cover up. Like Team Rocket is in big Pokemon, so that people are like, I want the best Pokemon, and Team Rocket is like, we caught this legendary Pokemon that there's only one of, and we can sell it to you so you can be the number one. And
Mhm.
if they Final Fantasy VII remakes Pokemon Red, that's
Yep.
what the story would be like. And
Yeah.
that is the Pokemon game I want in my mind, but
That
I know
sounds
we will
awesome.
never get it.
No, of course
Nintendo
not.
does not want to think that big with Pokemon. They just want to sell plushies.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
So I have a view on Pokemon. Where to me, you guys keep asking for all these big things from Pokemon that we've all asked for years now, and it's just not going to happen. So I stopped looking at Pokemon like that, and I look at it like a comfort food. I get it once every 5 to 3 years. I play it start to finish in like a day and a half. I'm like, this made me feel like a child again, and then I just put it down and never play it again
I don't know.
until the next one comes out, and I am fine with that.
Also, one last
Pretty much
thing.
what I do.
One last thing I want to say. Stop with the fucking gimmicks. Just pick one and stick with it. We don't need fucking Gigantamax evolution. We don't need all this bullshit. Just stick with one and then continue with it. That's it. That's all we need. Every 5 years, you could probably add a new one. Every
Yeah.
3 years, I guess.
This game the series has a thing I call League of Legends system or syndrome, where League of Legends will be like, this character has this kind of skin and it has this cool amounts, and none of the other characters will get it until like 5 years later. And every Pokemon game is like, we have Mega Evolutions, and I'll be like,
And then we have Gigantamax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then like you're like, I want my favorite Pokemon to get a Mega Evolution, and then they're like, Mega Evolutions are garbage. Now it's all about Gigantamaxing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Lucario got a Mega Evolution, but it could have been cooler.
Yes, it could have
but
been way
yeah,
cooler.
That's my big issue.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to do that, they could just make Digimon. You know. 'Cause
Yeah, but
that- that's
Digimon's
multiple,
trash,
yeah.
though. You know.
Oh, don't say that. I like
It
the
is,
anime a
I
lot.
actually like
It
Digimon
is.
better.
Yeah, I like Digimon
Guys,
better.
Digimon is so much
I just
better
have
than
one
Pokemon.
question. Which came first? Pokemon.
Pokemon-
You want-
in-
You want the technicality of it all?
Oh, I mean,
yeah,
out of the
the
two,
anime or-
Yeah.
Pokemon or Digimon, which came first?
Definitely Pokemon. But
Exactly.
Digimon's
Well, listen though. Pokemon
One's-
came out as a game and then an anime.
Doesn't
and
matter.
Digimon came out as an anime.
Yeah, but they
And the
thought
anime
of.
is way better.
I
Anime
have-
is way better.
Yeah, but I have a
The
feeling.
actual answer is Dragon Quest III, Dragon Quest Monsters. That's the original Pokemon.
All I'm saying is.
Megami Tensei, then Persona, then Pokemon.
All I'm saying is.
Persona.
Digimon is a copycat of Pokemon. That's all I gotta say. So.
Is there nothing alike?
Yeah, but they like just copied the name, you know. Let's go to Legend of Zelda. What do we need from Legend of Zelda, guys? Because I can tell you right now.
If I can.
Yeah,
whenever I can
go ahead.
Sorry, you wanna interrupt?
No, go ahead, John.
Okay, so I was thinking, I've been seeing this trend on the internet recently called randomizers, where modders will take games and basically mess with how the loading works, so that every time you walk into a new room, instead of being like the actual level, a random room will be loaded in, and you'll just suddenly be fighting a boss at level 1 with your level 1 equipment. So I was like,
Oh boy.
Zelda might not work as a Mario Maker, but an officially licensed Nintendo Link roguelike randomizer Zelda might be a
Ooh.
cool idea.
Yeah. I like
Where
that.
it could be like just the original Super Nintendo or the original NES Zelda. It could be like Link to the Past art style, but like a hodgepodge of elements from every Zelda. But I think that would be a really cool, like, unique thing that they could release that would feel like celebrating the entirety of Zelda history, as well as being like, this is not a Zelda, but it is like a new way to play Zelda, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that actually sounds
definitely,
really
definitely
cool.
out of formula, but that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like, all right, I'm gonna say another hot take, guys. Breath of the Wild wasn't a good game.
I wouldn't go that far, but I thought it was definitely way overrated.
I
Yeah.
I just expected more of a story and less of an open world. Like, yeah, if you want to do open world, that's fine, but like, give us more of a story than just the artifacts. I forgot what they're called. The four beasts.
And then I agree. I see people putting hundreds of hours in this game. I played it for like 15, and I was kind of over it. I haven't even beaten the game. It just wasn't. It just didn't capture me like everyone else. It's a beautiful game.
Yeah, it's definitely beautiful. It's just like
after a little while, I got tired of exploring, and the puzzles were fun for only some time for me, and it just wasn't my type of Zelda game. It was, it was a little bit. It was a different formula. You're not going to temples in order and all that kind of stuff. So,
oh boy.
I thought it was utter trash.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
Okay.
thank God. Thank God. I thought we were the only two.
Okay.
This thing
You've heard me say this on like almost any time it comes up. You know I hate that game.
Yeah, but I forget. I'm sorry.
I'm not a huge fan of Breath of the Wild either. I like to say that it is a game developer's game for video game developers. Like, it rewards like a lot of like exploration, and like it has a lot of unique elements that explore if you're into like messing around with the mechanics, but specifically for the sake of messing around with the mechanics. And I think the way I play games, the way I know a lot of normal people play video games, is they want a goal, they want to feel like they've accomplished something, they want a story, because like at this point we're used to video games having cutscenes and having dialogue and having character development, and in those regards it doesn't succeed super well. I mean, it's hard to say succeed because it doesn't focus on those things. But like my favorite Zelda game has always been Twilight Princess, because it is so focused on its story, and it's everything in that world is contributing to its story and its characters and where they come from. And Breath of the Wild isn't nearly as interested in that. It's mostly like most of its story is like funny jokes where there's references to old games, or like the occasional random cutscene that's a flashback to 100 years ago. I think that's part of why everyone likes Age of Calamity like more than Breath of the Wild, because it like gives what they wanted from the characters in Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Kind of to write off that, I mean, I'm probably one of the few, but I think my favorite Zelda game would probably be Skyward Sword, even though like the combat was kind of weird because of the motion plus stuff.
Yeah.
It concentrated a lot on story too, and the origin of it all, and I really liked that. So.
Okay. Ryan, do you got anything else you want to add?
Well, I have my blueprint for what I want to see for the 35th anniversary of Zelda.
Okay.
Which actually Skyward Sword leads into that.
All right.
Okay.
I want to see two akin to Mario All-Star collections for the Zelda 35th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least one collection and then putting some games on the eShop.
Okay.
Where the collection will be Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. To a modern day, the more modern Zelda games that have not been re-released and kind of harder to get your hands on that kind of deal, other than Wind Waker, which of course was on the Wii U, but it was on the Wii U. That doesn't really count for jack all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wind Waker's also a bad game.
Wind Waker's the best Zelda game, Ruben.
Wind Waker is up there with Skyward Sword for me. Wind Waker was amazing.
Oh my god. What the hell?
Who's here?
Oh shit.
What?
Mike, I'm gonna have to kick you out of this. Sorry about that.
What was that?
Sorry, that was supposed to be the other guy that said he couldn't make it, but
Oh.
anyway,
all right. Let me go back to my plan now.
Go ahead.
So I want to see those games. Not this done the same way with the Mario All-Star Collection. Minimal effort, just put them in a bundle and port them to me and let me play them again. And you can even do the motion controls because you got Joy-Cons now. So
Yeah.
if you want to keep the motion controls for those games, you're fine.
Sincerely hope they
The
don't.
one though I would really like to see it would be the more underrated the DS games, Spirit Tracks and stuff, getting just put
Yes.
on the eShop.
Here we
Mhm.
I thought
go.
you meant the 3DS and 64 games. I really want to play Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time on the 3D on the Switch.
Oh my god.
That I
could
was.
you
Oh, that's what
imagine?
I was gonna say. I was gonna say, in the eShop, put Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask because I don't want to take out my 3DS plus, just the convenient of the Switch, and plus I can play it on my big screen if I want to. So,
I'm
Just-
so a
sorry,
couple
Ryan.
for
I
go ahead.
liked Spirit Tracks. I enjoyed my very first playthrough of Phantom Hourglass, but I don't kind of want to ever touch those video games ever again.
You see, I thought they
Fair
were
enough.
really fun. And just
Really
that,
annoying.
again, they're hard to get your hands on now. They're a little rare. So it'd be nice to just be able to have them on the eShop for games like this.
Okay.
Because the eShop is just the one thing the Wii U did right that no one gives it credit for is it had a fantastic eShop
Yeah,
where they
absolutely.
kept putting games that were just lost to time, like things like Mother and all those kind of things, Earthbound and whatnot.
God.
I'd like to see that become what the eShop for the Switch is, where instead of having all this shovelware on there, Nintendo, you have the best library of video games in any company that would be so easily portable. From the NES to the N64, you could easily put any of those games on the Switch with minimal effort
Yeah.
and sell them for $5 to $10 a pop. And I would buy them instantly.
Mhm.
The money is there, Nintendo. Just do it.
Yep.
That's my hopes for Zelda.
I would have to say that I also would like to see the Link to the Past sequel on there, just to
Oh yeah.
play
Yeah.
on
I
the
do like-
Switch. Oh god, it was such a good game.
I honestly want like any first-party Nintendo game that's ever been made, if it can run on the Switch, to be on the Switch.
Yep.
Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have the flip grip, so even like other DS games that are good, I would love to have it there, and like with the option to play vertically, and then I just use my Joy-Cons and get to town. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, would be great. I also want to touch on changing topics a little. Metroid and how we probably should know or have a trailer for that. I'm not
I
saying
was-
it's going to come out now this year.
I was
probably not.
I was thinking about talking about that anyway. So good segue.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and finish, and then I'll.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I know they had to restart production. What was it, like 2 years ago?
Mhm.
And
And they announced it.
yeah, and definitely, I'm pretty sure that Corona has dealt them a huge blow. So, just give us a title, give us something, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I was thinking about Metroid and a bunch of other games that they promised us 2 years ago that we haven't even heard about since, like No More Heroes. This whatever sequel that's supposed to be. They announced that. They announced.
Returns, right?
No More Heroes 3. No, Travis Returns came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, they announced like an actual sequel a couple years ago, though, right?
In October, they released No More Heroes 1 and 2 and showed more gameplay of No More
Of
Heroes
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. And then Bayonetta 3. I mean, we
Yes.
just got that
That's what I've
teaser
been
trailer,
waiting
and yeah, and we haven't seen anything on that. I was also Metroid Prime. See what else, and I know they just announced it, but I want to know like a release date for The World Ends With You 2, because the first one is one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, they said it was somewhat soon.
Okay.
I believe it's summer 2021. is what they put
Definitely
out.
this year.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Now,
Yeah, because the
there's
official
a big
game announcement had 2021 in it. Summer 2021.
Okay,
Yeah, that's right. Sweet.
cool. That's
There's a big
right on
topic for Nintendo that we've been skating around,
Switch Pro.
which is the thing that most people Switch Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Switch Pro.
Okay.
Or just
Is it
their
time
next
for?
gen.
It's going to be. It's going. The Switch is going to have a lifespan very akin to the 3DS DS type,
Yep.
in my opinion, where it will just get upgraded. The popularity of it, you can just continually make that thing just a little bit more beefier.
Yep.
And be fine. Because I'll be real, if they make a brand new Switch with a good screen on, it doesn't run 1080 screen, all that kind of thing in handheld mode, I'd buy it. I'd buy a new Switch.
With an OLED, that'd be so nice. But
So-
anyway, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
What I want from a Nintendo Switch Pro is probably different from other people because I don't want to or expect to be playing PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series games on the Switch. I want Hades to not slow down when there's like 20 enemies on the screen. Like I want to play the games that like are perfect for Switch perfectly. That's all I'm really looking for. So I don't think you have to make like a really like 4K enabled Switch like the rumors are saying. I just want to play 1080p like indie games that have like a lot of stuff on them like really well, but I don't necessarily want to play massive expansive games on my Switch. I don't expect to is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about it, and when it was the PS3, Xbox 360 era, it was you know PS3 versus Xbox 360 versus Wii. Which one's your favorite, or which one are you going to get first, and all that. And then when Nintendo out of nowhere came out with the Wii U, way before the PS4 and Xbox One came out. Ever since then, Nintendo's just kind of like in its own world, and it's PlayStation versus Xbox, and then Nintendo's just over here is like, yeah, we'll let them mash it out, and we'll do our own thing.
Yep.
And so I don't expect a new Switch Pro or Switch 2 or anything like that anytime soon, but they need to do something because now they're basically because the Switch was already underpowered compared to the PS4 and Xbox One anyways. So they need to do something with the hardware, and they need to do it soon because now we have PS5 and Xbox Series X.
But do
So
they? Because the most selling game system of 2020 was the Nintendo Switch
Yep.
/ Switch Lite.
Yep.
yeah, that's true.
And
But
one of the highest selling games of the year was, I think, the second best selling game of the year was Animal Crossing, and that's
yeah, but
without
the
digital
PS
sales. And the most
yeah.
selling game
It
of the year
was.
was the Call of Duty, and that was across 5 systems
Yep.
Oh, really?
in the U.S.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the
that
cheapest.
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing. And they've also been doing that
Also-
thing that I haven't seen since the original Nintendo DS, where they're having celebrity commercials. Like one of the moments where I noticed that the DS was like the every person game system was when Beyonce was like, "Look at me, I'm playing Brain Age on the Nintendo DS," and now
Oh,
they're doing
God.
that with like Captain Marvel. I can't remember her real name, and Aquafina,
Brie
and like
Larson.
a bunch of Brie
Brie
Larson.
Larson.
There we go. And a couple of other like actors, actresses, famous people like that with the Nintendo Switch. I feel like until people get tired of the Switch, and I don't mean us, I mean regular people who bought a Switch in 2020 and played 200 hours of Animal Crossing, I can't imagine that Nintendo's like ready to release a new thing.
I guess so. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I guess I mean, I guess for me, I see it as a mobile console.
Yeah.
So uh, it's kind of hard because it's a hybrid. Because
Mm-hmm.
if it was just a home console, then it would definitely have to, in my
That's
opinion.
true. I do agree with that.
So
Mhm.
I guess I was speaking to it as a home console more than a mobile. So, but yeah, if wait, was it the most sold worldwide or just in the U.S.?
I think PDP said it was just the U.S., but I could be wrong. Let me check it up now.
I thought it was worldwide.
It could be worldwide.
Because if it's worldwide and you're talking like Japan and stuff, obviously mobile's gonna exceed the home consoles. Like you
Japan,
go,
it was
yeah,
definitely the Switch. Like not even
yeah,
the other systems weren't even close.
yeah. Well, Xbox is obsolete over there. There's like
Oh yeah.
I've been there a couple of times, and if you go to like electronics, um, if you go to there's just like a little tiny corner of Xbox stuff. Then there's a bunch of PS4 or well, I guess PS5 soon, or at this point, and then a bunch of Vita, which is kind of cool. So and a bunch of Nintendo Switch stuff. So like their market is mobile gaming because they're always on the move. They're always just
Mhm.
walking, and they're going on different trains and whatever, and you see a bunch of people playing their games on the trains, and while they're walking, they'll be on playing a mobile game on their phone or on their Vita or their Switch. So yeah, they're not buying as many home consoles. So I don't. If it is worldwide, I completely understand with the Switch being the most sold console. Uh, with the US, I feel like the Switch, a lot of people bought it this year because Pokemon came out very late last year, right?
Yeah.
Or not last year, but 2019. So I think a lot of kids wanted to play Pokemon, and the parents are like, "Oh, well, the Switch Lite is super cheap. Yeah, we'll buy this for our kid for Christmas or for whatever." So I think that puts into it a lot also. And then I don't think people bought as many PS4s this year, knowing that the PS5 was coming out this year, and I think
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah,
also
no,
put yeah. So there's a lot of factors when it comes to the Switch versus the PlayStation 4.
the other big thing is that like this has also been a trend for a while. Like it is the best selling system, I think 2 or 3 years in a row.
Oh,
So
is it?
that's yeah, like
Hmm.
because and that's just because the PS4 and the Xbox One were declining in sales, and then this year it was hard to get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
So I'm naturally, if you're like, I'm going to buy a video game system, which is going to last longer, a PS4 or a Switch, an Xbox One or a Switch, because you can't
And
find
here's
the other
the
one without paying way too much.
Yeah.
the thing
The
that really
price.
gets me about it is the install numbers for Switch games. Because there's an insane amount of Switch games and Switch consoles, but the Nintendo owned like the Nintendo games, those sell like 80% of them. It's the 80% of people who own Switches own Animal Crossing. It sold 26 million in a year.
It outsold every Metroid game ever made in its first month of release.
So,
Jeez.
just to cut in
Yeah.
here for a second, it's actually NPD, not PDP. I don't know where I got PDP from.
They make accessories for video games.
Yes, that's what it was. So according to Matt Piscatella, it was the best-selling holiday console of 2020.
Mm.
But I mean, I'm sure if I keep scrolling down his timeline, it'll tell me that it's probably was the most selling console
Yeah.
of 2020, and that's worldwide.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I agree with that.
Oh, and I guess that's probably true only because for holiday 2020 was probably because like they didn't start production this year, so which makes total sense. I think we've covered Nintendo pretty well, 45 minutes of it.
Oh God.
So
Still- oh God.
yeah, let's go to Microsoft, and oh god, I feel like this is gonna be another 45-minute conversation.
I'm not gonna talk nearly as much in this one. I'm not super into Microsoft.
Okay, all right, well,
Mine will be pretty short too.
let's just stick with what we know. The big hitter, Halo. Halo needs to come out this year.
It needs to.
It
It was supposed to come. It was supposed to come out in December, right?
Yeah,
Originally.
yeah, and then they pushed it back because that game is such a fuck up.
Yeah, it was a hot mess.
It was a hot mess, and I feel like they don't know the trajectory of anything now since I believe the other game director dropped out, if I recall correctly. So I don't know. I don't think this game is actually going to come out this year. I don't think it's going to be a good game.
I really hope it doesn't pull
Yeah.
a Cyberpunk, man, where they just push it out before it's ready, and then there's a bunch of bugs.
Oh, if they were going to do that, they would have done it at launch. They
Yeah.
needed a launch game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Microsoft is extremely happy that COVID happened in relation to Halo, because it also meant that there are so few Xbox Series X's that people that have one are just happy to have a next-gen Xbox, and they're not begging for the new Halo game.
Well, I mean, if you're getting if you have the Game Pass or the Ultimate Pass, you have like, what is it, like over 300 games or
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like you can't beat that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Saj, but I feel like old game's old. You know, like nobody wants to play. Oh shit!
To play a big fancy brand new game on your big fancy brand new system or your
Yes.
small Series S.
One that shows off the capabilities of the system, like ray tracing, 4K, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think the only game that does that is that Gears of War tactical game that or what is it? It's like a turn-based game. Yeah, but there you go.
Yeah,
Gears Tactics and Valhalla were the big ones the Xbox was using.
But also Valhalla doesn't looks better on PS5, if I recall from Digital Foundry.
Yeah,
I could be wrong on that.
But it's vice versa for Cyberpunk apparently.
Yeah, but Cyberpunk looks bad on everything, you know, except for PC.
Except for PC, yeah.
The best way to play Cyberpunk on a console is Xbox Series S. Because if you run it at 1080p, it's actually like a really good time.
Yeah, but
then you have this beefy Xbox Series X playing stuff that the 360 was supposed to be playing, or sorry, the original Xbox One also was only 1080p.
I don't know.
Hell, the original Xbox.
Probably, yeah.
But for me, you need Halo this year. It needs to happen, or your console is just like your last run, DOA, Dead on Arrival. Yes, you have Games Pass. Okay, cool. We've talked about Games Pass hundreds of times on this podcast by now. It's a fantastic deal.
Yep.
Is it a console seller? No, it's not. Especially when you can play it on your PC, and there's not games right now that need game. You have optimization, but you don't have brand new games on there that can only be played by your Series X.
Agreed. Yeah, I can get.
I'm sorry. Let's sidetrack here for a second. Eric just applied to write for Nerdist about WandaVision. The nerve.
That's what I was just checking my phone about.
The nerve. What is up with this guy? You know, first he sidelines me with all his guest appearances, and I'm like, okay, I can let that slide. But we have a website. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Eric, if you're listening to this, Horizon Zero Dawn sucks.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
It's a little
anyway, I'm sorry to cut.
I got the platinum, so I'm biased.
Oh.
I didn't enjoy it that much as everybody else did.
I'm excited for the next one. I'm not.
You know, I needed to know the update on Eric. I need
robot dinosaur game.
Yeah, robot dinosaurs. I thought that was a cool idea. The combat was so boring, and
they might fix it by the next one. Sequels are
hopefully.
Better. This is the big problem with Xbox, is that they don't have a robot dinosaur game, and PlayStation does, and I don't know what to be excited for on Xbox.
Nobody does.
Xbox?
Yeah.
They have... The 360 was such a good era for them. They had heavy hitters. They have Halo, Gears, and now they own Western RPGs pretty much. If they own CD Projekt Red, they own all Western RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I like
you own Bethesda and Obsidian. You have all this shit,
They're
basically.
they're horsing
Make
around right
something
now.
Make something of it. Like
Mhm.
this E3 for them is the make or break E3. You need to show heavy hitters from your things. I'll give you this. The Game Awards, the Perfect Dark trailer was fucking hype. That was, I'm like, this is what is it? The Quadruple A Studios game?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we're seeing that game till 2024 at the earliest. So these next 2 years, you need to figure out things to put in there. And you
That's
got
did-
these studios.
too.
You
Xbox
do
has
bring
the
up a good
biggest
point, yeah.
conglomeration of studios.
Because I mean, like, think about
Here's
the
the
last
film.
time the Xbox has brought out an exclusive that was remarkable. Was I mean, I can't really think of anything of yeah. I don't know. it just it needs to come out with a new IP that's gonna blow us away, or it needs to just get on its shit and start releasing stuff that we actually want to play. That's new. Yeah.
The big issue with the Xbox One is that everything that Microsoft was bringing
Series X.
was
Or
no. I'm talking about the Xbox One
Okay.
generation.
all right.
Everything they brought was like it's the 360 next gen again. It's Halo
Mhm.
4 or Halo 5 and 6. It's more Gears of War. It's they didn't make a Fable game. They
Ori.
Ori. Okay, that Ori was a good thing, but it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't really quite sell systems. But that was unique. But the
Well,
big
and now it's
issue,
on Switch too. So
yeah.
And you
I
can
mean,
play it on
money
Switch.
is money.
Yeah.
They get Nintendo bucks. Nintendo gets bucks. But the big issue is that they weren't evolving, and they were basically trying to do what they did this exactly the same, but a little better. And Sony, like the most obvious aspect is they brought out a new God of War, and it was like a brand new God of War. But then they also had Horizon Zero Dawn. They had a Spider-Man game which felt like Spider-Man 2, but almost entirely different in like
Mhm.
only good ways. And that's not even counting the what I call the de facto exclusives. Like you could only get Nier Automata on PS4 for the first year it was out.
Mhm.
It is 2021, and you can still only get Final Fantasy VII Remake on a PS4.
That's right.
Yeah.
Square Enix, until this year, you could only buy Yakuza games on either a PC or a PlayStation. And even
And
the PC was
and
relatively
Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a timed exclusive for the PS5 as
yeah,
well.
that one
Mhm.
as well.
Mhm.
Demon Souls is Sony exclusive. Like
Yeah.
they own Demon Souls brand, but so
Sekiro, Bloodborne, all that.
yeah.
Sekiro was
Neo
on the
was
other one.
Sorry.
maybe he was thinking of Neo, the Bandai Namco Team Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Pseudo
Oh, maybe.
Souls-like
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. You're
That
right.
was
You guys are right.
exclusive
Yeah.
to PlayStation.
And then I was thinking. Oh, and Ghost of Tsushima, obviously. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something
Mhm.
Microsoft is trying to realize is even the fact that Yakuza, even though it's not going to be exclusive forever, the only way to play it on next gen is on an Xbox console, is a step in the right direction. They don't necessarily need to own Japanese games exclusively, but if another option to get those big Japanese AAA titles is on Xbox, maybe via Game Pass.
and how could I forget Persona, dude?
That's
Like,
interesting. Yeah, Persona. I was trying not to mention the big P, but yeah,
oh
Persona.
man, I mean that was my favorite game of the year was
I mean,
Royal. So
We're forgetting
Hot-
the other thing Xbox has. They're trying. They got Fantasy Star, which is huge.
Is it though?
Having Fantasy Star online
Fantasy
is huge.
Star was huge. Halo 3 was huge. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like that's a
they're
simple
they're
thing. where they start
piggybacking
getting-
off their previous successes, and then they're piggybacking off of Game Pass.
Yeah.
I think those they're just playing it safe, and they're not
I think
pushing for new IPs, which is what they need to do because that's what Sony
Mhm.
keeps on doing.
Even though they're buying up studios left, right, and center.
Just because you could buy a studio left, right, and center doesn't mean. Look at what's it
I
called?
got Psychonauts 2.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I'm really excited about Psychonauts.
Yeah, I remember you that you were.
Um,
You know what I really want them to do is just like kind of experiment with some JRPG type games. Like, do you guys remember Lost Odyssey for 360? And it was exclusive to the Xbox
Yes.
360.
And
Like,
Blue
I wish they
Dragon.
would do. Yeah,
And
it was
they
okay.
got an exclusive Tales game.
Yeah, so I wish
They
it would
tried
just.
really hard
Yeah.
on
Blue Dragon.
Yeah,
Blue
that
Dragon.
Oh
was
yeah,
exclusive to
yeah,
360.
Blue Dragon was the shit. Okay.
yeah. But like,
Yeah,
I wish they would
it's
do that
like
more for the newer consoles. You know, just make your own thing. Don't try and take Final Fantasy because
I think
people. Yeah, but
I think there's probably an indie dev team that's like not AAA but like towards the AAA side that if they brought them and then like filled them with management and they were like make the JRPG of your dreams. You know how everyone wants a Persona game where everyone's adults or in college or something? Do that, and I think that would do really well to the crowd that like likes JRPGs but wants like a little bit less of the anime bullshit. Like they still want the friendship,
Mhm.
the overtop action, but maybe everyone that's sexy are like grown adults and not high school kids. That would be cool.
So basically, Mass Effect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I also think that if they announced Fable with actual gameplay and like
Ooh,
and
yeah.
actually showed off what it would play like, it would have been a much bigger get than Fable's coming back. Be excited because of the word Fable, even though no one who made the original Fable will probably be working on this game.
But the thing is, like, all the games that they've announced within the past, 2 years, ever since the announcement of the Series X,
Mm-hmm.
those games aren't coming out anytime soon, especially because of Corona. So let's say the earliest we see any of those games, I would say, would be 2023.
Wow.
I
Okay.
I could see something coming out in 2022, but not. I could see Halo Infinite coming out in 2022.
Could you, though?
Yeah.
Could you, though? I could
I
see
don't know,
Halo
that game has
Infinite.
a lot of work.
I
I
could
see it
see,
coming out in 2023.
and I can see it coming out 2026.
Ooh.
Halo Infinite. It never comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
got
infinitely
infinite
delayed.
delay.
Infinite and Forever are cursed subtitles.
Yeah.
Never name game those. Duke Nukem Forever, terrible. Like, don't just stay away.
Yeah.
Super Meat Boy Forever wasn't very great.
It's
Not compared to the first one. You can't compare it to the first one at all.
just really bad.
Oh, I think Halo will come out. I think Halo needs to come out this year. It's going to come out. I'm calling it. I say mid-October this year.
Okay.
I think at earliest December.
So
At earliest.
no, you need it. You need it before. You need it for Black Friday. You need it out a month before so you can have it loaded on Black Friday, and have a console paired with it to sell that day.
I hope
I
they
don't
come
know.
out with a
My
bundle.
thing.
Like a
My
like
thing.
a thing. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
I think next year's big Xbox needs to either pump out Fables, or we can hope Bethesda was working on a game that's near completion that they could pump out in 2022, like a Wolfenstein or something.
Yeah, but do you
Akin to
think
that
it's going to
nature, but
be?
the first exclusive. I think the first exclusive Bethesda game, when you just put that as the title, it will get people. It will get people looking at it.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's going to sell systems, but it's going to get people looking.
Okay, if you say so.
And then also with the Series X, just as hardware itself, and the features, I like the idea that it has. You can have two games like playing simultaneously, and you can go back and forth with them. But it's not a feature I see myself using at all. Like I'm one of those people who doesn't even leave the game suspended on my PlayStation. I always close it out, save it, and then put it in rest mode. So for me, that's just like a useless feature. And yeah, that was my take on that.
Okay.
I don't see myself using the quick switcher or whatever.
All right, that's fair. Are we done with Microsoft? Do we have anything else we have to say about Microsoft? Just get your shit together. All right. That's it.
New IP. You just get a new IP. That's all you need.
I think it's weird this doesn't have to be a full like subject, but I think it's weird that they announced Avowed and then bought Bethesda, so I guess they got an Elder Scrolls game coming in the next 2 years, and whenever Elder Scrolls comes out in 2026.
I just people hold Bethesda to a high regard these days, and I just don't see why. Before they were, and I've never played any of the Elder Scrolls games, so I can't really talk about those. But specifically Fallout games, 3 was as best as they got, and even that had bugs.
New Vegas, I think.
New Vegas wasn't them though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
had no idea. Okay.
Yeah. So
New Vegas was made by Obsidian, who they also Xbox also
I
owns.
said that 2 seconds
Obsidian,
ago.
yeah. So regardless,
I just Fallout 4 was meh at best, and Fallout 76 was just a shit show.
that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
So I don't know. I just don't see Bethesda coming to Microsoft as a. Even if they do all Bethesda games as exclusives, I just don't see that being a game changer.
I'm more excited for whatever Machine Games does with Indiana Jones and what Arcane does after
Deathloop.
Deathloop.
Yeah.
Whatever they do after Deathloop, then whatever Bethesda, Starfield, Elder Scrolls, Fallout is going to be. I've never liked the regular Bethesda games. I didn't start liking Bethesda as a company until Doom, Wolfenstein, New Colossus, and
Same.
Dishonored.
Yeah. Okay. Which leaves us with the one and only Sony. What does Sony have to do this year to stay on top? Because let's admit it, they are on top right now.
Okay, so I got a couple of things, but you guys can go first. That doesn't matter to me.
Ryan, go ahead.
Okay, so we got a few heavy hitters with Ratchet and Clank coming out this year.
Yeah.
Horizon, is it Beyond West?
Forbidden West.
Is that the title?
Forbidden West, yeah.
And then God of War. You got some stuff to work with here. I think God of War does need to come out this year. That's a game that I feel it being pushed could hurt it a little bit. Hurt Sony's just track record.
Why is that? Did they mention? Sorry, did they mention a 2021 release date?
Yeah, you remember the big trailer at the end of the PlayStation?
Oh yeah. That's right.
It said 2021.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
I forgot.
My bad. I forgot.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I definitely think that game needs to come out. They need a game like that because I think Ratchet and Clank will do well. I don't know if it's a system seller.
Oh.
Horizon Forbidden West is definitely a system seller. That game, the first one is beloved. I don't think it's that good, but I get the fanfare for it.
Yeah.
It's robots and dinosaurs. What else do you need? Nothing.
I love the exploration of the game. That's
story.
what I loved about it. Yeah, story and exploration was great.
I'm saying that it needs a story.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm agreeing that the story could have been better. I just get really excited by a video game that's all about giant robot dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Then
We should get a Transformer Beast Wars game.
When I think of when Sony really put its touchstones on, we are the new Xbox, give us your crown. You had a good 360 era, but there's a new king in town. It's God of War. It's when they took an IP that was loved and they completely changed everything about it and made it a near cinematic masterpiece, a near perfect game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
From the single cut way it was done, like a movie with one steady camera shot the entire time, to the combat feeling good, the story being good, you nailed everything. So I definitely think that coming out this year and having another massive success with it would be fantastic for Sony. And then just have a good E3. Just show off some of the titles that we all know are going to be coming in the next few years.
Mhm.
Just a gameplay trailer for Final Fantasy. What else can we get out of there?
A tease for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, and an announcement for whatever the Final Fantasy VII Remake re-release is going to be. You don't have to show gameplay. You just need to be like, hey,
There's
Yuffie,
gonna be one.
I saw Shuriken Blade.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that'd be great.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be in that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
And at
that
the very
slamming
end,
into the
He'll
ground.
miss his claw
and
and,
then-
like his cloak, but not his face, and everyone goes, yes.
God.
Yeah. No, I like that. But no, just a basic Sony year. Just knock out some fantastic games, put out some good trailers, and just keep doing your thing. Sony is on top. They haven't let me down in a couple of years now.
God damn it, Eric.
It is perfect. Eric, why are you here?
Eric, I'm sorry. I really gotta lock this goddamn channel. Sorry, continue.
I
was just saying. I just think
Hold on.
which is I kind of
That-
disagree on God of War.
Okay.
I think it is a much bigger issue if God of War the sequel is not better than God of War 1 than if Horizon Zero Dawn is more Horizon. Because I think everyone wants God of War to just get bigger and just feel better and just expand more. And I think with Horizon there's not as much of an expectation for it to like extremely surpass itself. Like
true.
I feel that
Not much
people
else they can do.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like people connected so much with Kratos and Atreus that if the next game doesn't significantly
Low
feel
key.
bigger than that, it'll be a disappointment. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, if
you don't want your
have
biggest
one of
IP
those-
to like be to become Halo Infinite, you know.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, I mean everything that both you guys said, kind of in the middle, but yeah, they have a bunch of cool exclusives that they've already announced: Ratchet and Clank, Final Fantasy 16, all that. What I want from it, and I don't think it'll happen, but a man can wish, is I just kind of want like a Game Pass type thing on PlayStation that's not PlayStation Now. Just so we can play PS3, PS2, and PS1. I don't care if they're emulated or what, but so we can get that, so I don't have to keep my PS3 plugged in if I want to play a PS3 game. I'm happy. I'm beyond stoked that we can still play all of our PS4 games on the PS5. That was the big thing, but yeah, I want to be able to play all my PlayStation library on one system. I'll rebuy a bunch of shit. I don't care. I just want it to be on this big, massive, fucking beast of a machine that I have on my stand to play everything. And then also kind of something a little bit off topic with that. They really need to make base plates, like the plates. They need to make custom ones, because that would be a money maker. I was kind of disappointed that it only came in white,
Yeah.
because classically, like, other than the first PlayStation, their color has been black, and I was hoping it would be they would have an option for it to be black.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure give it
Yeah.
a couple months, they're probably working on that, but first they want to get more PS5s out just so it can
Oh,
meet
yeah.
demand.
they already stopped
It's
production for PS4s. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty wacky.
But
Or
probably to
if
put the
something-
resources into PS5. Sorry.
I thought it was just PS4 Pro,
With,
but it's still doing the PS4.
Yes.
I think the slims are cheap enough to make, though they keep on going with the pros. I think all those resources are going to try to add the supply and the money and the resources to making more PS5s,
Correct.
so
That's
people
exactly.
can actually get them.
Yep. That's right. Ryan, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that if there's something Sony was knocking out of the park in the PlayStation 4 era, it was exclusive consoles, like collector's edition consoles. I don't know what the term to call those was, but they made
Limited
so many
editions. Yeah,
gorgeous limited edition consoles.
I got the Spider-Man one and I loved it.
I got
It
my
was.
500 million PS4 up there, just sitting
You
in the
have you
closet.
got one of
I
those?
got-
Oh yeah,
I tried so hard to get one of those and I couldn't get one, man.
it was a pretty hefty amount of money I had to spend for it, but it was worth it.
Good job.
I got the Kingdom Hearts one, and that thing
I
is
haven't seen it.
gorgeous.
I
I
love the
logged
controller.
into Twitter on my phone at work like 5 minutes after that came out, and it was already sold out. I was so mad. I wanted that so badly.
Yeah, I was between the Kingdom Hearts and Spider-Man one, but the Spider-Man one came out first, and I wanted
Oh,
the
it's
yeah.
gorgeous.
So.
I don't know if I like the Kingdom Hearts one. Like it was just there was so much going on that thing.
Have you
I
seen the
agree.
controller though?
I
The
have.
controller is dope.
The controller is dope.
Speaking of special,
There's so
edition
much going on.
consoles,
That's just Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Well, I meant like on the console.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know. I'm just.
We obviously all love Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know when I can get a PS5 with like 2 terabytes of storage.
Yeah.
I think they're
I don't
they're
own
gonna
one
I think
for
they're gonna
that.
do the. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, because I have a PS4 Pro with, I think it's just 1 terabyte, but that was good for that gen, and I don't really want to touch a PS5 until I can get at least like 1 or 2 terabytes in that SSD.
Oh my god, it's so hard to get rid of. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wait.
yeah, smart idea.
It was not. It was nice for people who had like an SSD for their PS4s for the games because they can just instantly put it on their PS5.
Yep.
But you
Yeah.
can't store PS5 games on there, and they need to do
Yeah.
that. And because
At
the
least that.
PS5 games take so much space, it's like I don't know because I have my PS5 and I have such a big library, but I can only install like 3 or 4 at a time if they're big, massive games.
Yep.
And then maybe like 6 or 7 if I'm adding some small games in there.
So
So
like,
yeah,
I go to when before COVID, I would go to fighting game meetups in Indy every week, and my PS4 through sales and stuff like that, I got like almost every major fighting game that there's a scene at my area for, just in case like someone wanted to use it to play it, and I can't do that with 800 gigabytes of storage. Like that means that I have no space for anything else but fighting games, most of which I don't actually play,
Yeah.
and that's my big the situation for me. And I'm sure a lot of other people, like there are entire companies where their business model is we go to tournaments and we set you guys up with the fighting games and the systems you need, and the DLC and stuff, and that's going to be a big issue in the future.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. Hopefully they fix something. You know.
That's the one thing Xbox has over the PlayStation is that they have, expandable
The
memory
storage.
storage. Sorry, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's what I was looking for. And the PS5 can only do that with the PS4 games. And that's just like a huge letdown.
Well, again, this is
yeah.
as of right now. Like
They'll
have,
update it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah, these systems changed really quickly within the first year or so.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize until recently that I got my PS4 like the Black Friday the year after it came out, and I didn't realize that the rest function didn't exist before I got it. And that was weird to find out that like before I got it, like at some point you couldn't just like put it into rest mode and download it in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it at launch, and then I couldn't figure it out. I turned it off all the way every single time. I didn't realize that either until one time my girlfriend was playing and she felt like she fell asleep, and then I saw the orange bar and I'm like, wait,
fuck
did
is
it like
that?
brick out on me? I was
Yeah.
freaking out. I'm like, is this a brick? Is this like the red ring of death?
Yeah.
And then I turned it on, and then I looked it up online, and it's like, oh no, that's just rest mode, and it lets you do this, and this, and charge your controllers and blah blah blah. And I'm like, why the fuck am I just turning off my PS4 all the time? Then I'm just gonna rest it in rest mode every time.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I do.
with my PS5 as well.
Yeah, same here. Okay. I think that pretty much covers Sony. Do we have anything else we want to add before we close out the show?
There is a platinum video game called Babylon's Fall, and we haven't seen it for a year, and I want to know where it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's probably
Dark
canceled.
Souls Platinum Games.
Oh, do you guys remember there was that one? I forget what it was called, but it was a Devil May Cry mashed with like Final Fantasy 15, and it was supposed to come out a while ago. But do you remember, guys? Do you guys remember that, or is it just? Yeah.
I think it's just still in development. I think they showed something like that at the Game Awards. That was one of the weird like Korean things in the middle. Not the medieval one. I think it was in the middle of that. But yeah, it's a indie game developer in Korea.
Yeah, it was like one guy that's making it.
Yeah, I think it's just still in development because
it looks really cool.
Big project. Yeah,
it looks really cool. But yeah, that was just my question for it, you guys.
All right, cool. So let's go around and do some plugs. Ryan, what are you plugging?
I'll be plugging just like normal. I'll be plugging my new anime podcast. Go check out Anime Nation here at the penultimateconquest.com.
Yep.
Or YouTube, Penultimate Conquest.
And
I have a question
podcast services. Sorry, and podcast services.
Yeah. Are we on podcast services now? I knew that.
Yes.
I knew that was a problem. We get that solved?
We got that solved today. Yeah.
Hey, I have a quick question about Anime Nation. So, are you guys talking about like an episode per episode basis, or are you talking about the anime as a whole? Because you guys did Attack on Titan last time, right?
So,
and I didn't want to watch it.
We're doing an Attack on Titan review. That's a separate show, and then I am doing Anime Nation, which is a roundtable discussion of current anime, or if I want to get into, let's say, a discussion on just the shonen genre and talk about that, or different types of genres, that kind of deal.
Okay.
It's a place to talk anime, pretty much.
Then I can definitely do that, because on some anime I'm like behind, and I don't want to like join the conversation if I don't know anything that's going on episode by episode basis. But yeah, that sounds like up my alley too. So
yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah,
all good. Definitely, I'll put in the topics that'll be happening. If you think one of them you want to be on, definitely just hit me up.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, that's my plugs. There we
go. All right, Saj, what are you plugging?
I got nothing.
Okay.
My Twitter, all that kind of stuff is the same as what you see on the bottom right of the screen. Saj and SquarePants.
Okay.
Regrettable.
Right. Cool. John, what's going on? What are you plugging?
Hey, so first of all, I got my Twitter at Noisy Shark. That's at NOIZY Shark. Still working on a video about Super Mario Brothers. I'm still kind of playing through all of the Mario Brothers games up to Galaxy on the 3D All-Stars collection.
Okay.
And then when Persona 5 Scramble comes out next month, I'm going to play it as soon as it comes out and do a review for you guys at the Penultimate Conquest.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome.
Excited for that.
Yeah.
This week, there's a bunch of stuff going on. I gotta go through the list. We're doing our Attack on Titan episode, I believe, in about an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna push it to like 8 o'clock. Probably, we'll see. So like an hour and a half.
I haven't started season 4 yet, but I'll probably start that today or tomorrow.
You were missing out, Saj. I would start that as soon as possible.
I just didn't want to watch like one episode and be left unsatisfied. So if I'm watching 5 episodes in a row,
I'm telling you right now, you won't be unsatisfied at all. I think you won't be unsatisfied watching episode by episode.
Okay. Well, how many are there out now?
Right now,
this is the most fun I've had watching a show week to week in a while.
We just got episode 6 today.
I'll watch that. I will binge that in one day. That'd be no problem.
Okay. We also have Eric and I's WandaVision review episode of our review series going up tomorrow. We're doing that with Dushocker's own Scott White. Ad Holland is joining us as well. We also have I'm trying to think. Yeah. Hamilton episode is going up.
Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton episode is going up on Thursday, I believe, if I recall that correctly. And then again on Sunday, we are doing Attack on Titan. So it's a pretty hectic week, but I'm sure we can get through it. Oh, shit, I just realized this is not going out today. That's all right.
Yeah, so a time of recording just in case there's
Yeah.
an apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right.
Well, if they missed all of those, now they can go back into the podcast.
Exactly. And you can check it out on the website as well. The penultimateconquest.com/VODs. Sorry, VODS. To check that out. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Have a good one. Bye.
You too. You too, Ruben.